Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out something called Assault Android Cactus by developer Witchbeam. This is a early press preview version of a game that should be hopefully coming out in the summer. It's a Twitch arcade style dual stick shooter with a lot of really cool environmental stuff going on. I think that's the thing that drew me to it, was the fact that you'll be running around in these different environments and then bam, everything changes and morphs. And then you got to deal with whatever the consequences of that are. It's a pretty cool art aesthetic, and it reminds me quite a bit of that Alien Syndrome remake. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but that was an old game on the Sega Master System that got a remake for the Wii and PSP, and I think also the PS2, if I remember correctly. So let's look through the menus very briefly. I've only played, a couple of minutes into the tutorial here, so this is all somewhat fresh and new to me. Simple video mechanics, audio settings, nothing too crazy. And we've got some collections. As we progress through the game, I assume that will be unlocked. This is primarily designed to be a multiplayer game, and these guys are looking to get their Greenlight campaign off the ground, so definitely you're going to want to check out the page for that, which is going to be in the description once this video is over. You want to go take a look. So campaign mode, we've got an endless battle and a boss rush mode, which are grayed out. I'm not sure if it's because of the press preview build or the fact that they just require you to play the game enough to unlock them. So we've got a number of different characters we can choose from here. I think I might have read that there are some more unlockables later on, and this is where you would, of course, get multiple people together if you're planning on playing multiplayer, up to 4-player co-op. So the main character, of course, Cactus, with an assault rifle and a flamethrower secondary. Holly, who has seeker missiles and a cannonball as a secondary. Sounds pretty cool. Lemon, a spread shot and rocket. It's reminding me a little bit of like the Contra weapon choices, which is always good. I'm a pretty big fan of Contra. Coral, who's got a shotgun and a plasma field, and Starch, who carries a laser and a micro missile and appears to be the most android-like of all of them. I'm not sure why Starch seems to be asleep, but I kind of want to play as that character anyway because of the laser. I'm a big fan of lasers, if you're not aware. Alright, so these are our stages that we can choose from. Looks like we either have to unlock a bunch of them or they just aren't available yet because of the, like I said, the nature of a preview build. So let's try the tutorial. Start at the beginning. Robots are pouring into the room. To arms androids, let's take them down. So how to play: left stick to move, right stick to shoot, or to aim rather, and right trigger to shoot. Let's press shoot to continue. Alright, so we've got, already I'm getting the impression that maybe a little bit of like a Ratchet and Clank-esque or like Shoot Many Robots feel to it. Of course, Shoot Many Robots being a side-scroller, so a little bit different, but similar that we're shooting lots of robots. Keep on fighting, push the advantage. Defeated enemies release energy, collect energy to power up the primary weapon. I always like powering up the primary weapon. Let's see where that takes us. Maybe the machine gun's going to get more and more powerful. I'm all for that. So far, so good. Power Up seems to give us slightly heavier shots with a small incidence of a second shot moving in along the side of it. Look at the size on that one. I'm going to need the big gun. Each character is a powerful secondary weapon. Left trigger to switch weapons. We can do this. Oh, look at that. A little stylish weapon switch animation also. Ow, hot, hot, hot. Alright, secondary weapons overheat during use and cool down when holstered. The meter on the floor shows the heat level. Pickups are released from enemies. We've got a red one, which summons friendly machine gun drones, a lock, which disables enemies and recovers shield, and a wing, which increases movement and attracts energy. I'm all for that. Power-ups are always a good time. Oh, excellent. The more firepower, the better. I always enjoy how frenzied these types of games can get, and I guess we're going to get to demo out one of each of the power-ups. Why was that guy blue? Oh, wow. Okay, I'm much more maneuverable with those wings. Sure reminds me a little bit of 99 Nights when you go into your, like, crazy explosion mode and everything starts to go nuts. Oh, yeah, I need to keep an eye on my battery. Okay, well, since we're androids, I suppose that makes sense. During combat, the battery will drain at a steady rate, so that's our timer. Taking damage causes a temporary knockdown, but the mission only fails when the battery runs out. Okay, so since we're androids, we don't die from HP loss. We die from running out of charge. That actually makes sense. Extra battery is released from enemies collected before it expires. So we gotta rush over to that when we see it. Any input to continue? Alright, I think we've got a pretty good handle on this one already. The only thing I'm curious is how fast is that battery gonna drain, because that does matter. It seems like it's steady, but not super fast. Maybe we can even get like upgrades to our battery or something as the game progresses. I'm glad the main weapon doesn't overheat, because that would be pretty frustrating having to switch back and forth constantly. Alright, so let's go to the next level. That was quite a bit of fun. and we'll get to play as the character that we chose with our laser. I love the look of this laser. This is good times. This reminds me a little bit of what is it, that one spell in Diablo 3 that the one class can cast is just basically like this, just a freaking plasma beam. So we're on an ever-descending elevator. Makes me think of that one scene from Half-Life. Oh, what did I just do? Some sort of a bolt just came out of me. Oh, okay, those are bullets. I need to not walk into them. When things get particularly frenzied and we've got all these like friendly pickups and then the angry pickups, we want to like avoid some, grab others. It gets pretty easy to get overwhelmed and forget which things here are dangerous and which things we want to be walking toward. Although I think that will also come in time of getting conditioned to this style of play. Granted, I think I'm safe to say that I'm fairly decent at games like Geometry Wars and, you know, various other derivations of that formula. I'm going to need to probably break out my big gun here for a moment. What just happened? I don't think much happened there. I think I might have overheated already. We're keeping the chain going pretty well. And we've got a somewhat diverse number of different types of enemies that we seem to be shooting. There's like these spiders and VTOLs. Oh, and I'm much more maneuverable. I really like having the wings. I need to get that battery real fast. There we go. Pretty nice pulse-pounding soundtrack. I know that's like super buzzword to say that, but you know, sometimes it just does come to mind. It seems appropriate is all I'm going for. We've got a nice blend of, you know, retro... Whoa! Okay, that was real bad. Tap fire. Alright. Doing that. It's got a nice blend of like retro kind of chiptune feel to it and a little bit more of like electronica, which I appreciate. I think sounds lovely. Goofy win animation there, but no problem. I got a rank C. I did pretty poorly on that, but like I said, this is designed to probably be played in multiplayer. I did take a death there, or a knockdown, I should say. So, you know, probably could do a lot better on a second playthrough. Also, probably should get familiarized with all the different types of enemies and, you know, various weapons. Maybe this isn't my best character, we'll see. It is my first time playing, so, you know, there is that. So it looks like we've got some palette-swapped spiders, and some bullet hell elements are creeping in. I probably don't want to stick myself into this corner here. It's kind of a bad idea. I mentioned that a big feature is the transforming elements. Alright, swarmer missiles will probably help me out. The transforming elements of the level design, and we did see that a little bit with the elevator before in the last level, but there are other elements that we haven't even seen yet. There's these cube-like blocks that are going to start switching and morphing in and out of places, and hopefully we'll get to a level where we get to show that off, because I thought that was one of the cooler elements from the trailer that I got to see. It's a really nice feeling to it, though. Everything seems like, you know, the damage that you're doing feels substantial. You know, you feel like you're actually playing an active role in the fight. You're not just sort of along for the ride while the shots take care of everything. You do need to be paying attention to the bullets and where they're going. Everything seems visceral, fast-paced. Collecting these little goodies is definitely helping to keep me moving around in the level so you don't get stuck in one spot, which is always a worry. You know, you don't want to end up just building sort of like a little barracks and just fighting off everything through a choke point. Yeah, gotta have that accelerate, and I really like how many enemies they're throwing at us all at one time. That was one of the things, I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a Let's Play on Kiss Psycho Circus a long time ago, and one of the things that I really liked about that game was how absolutely crazy and chaotic it gets. And I think this sort of a game is definitely suited to that style of gameplay, so I'm glad they're taking advantage of that. Absolutely no slowdown. We've been locked at 60 frames per second so far. Nothing to speak of negatively in that respect. And the fact that we're also keeping a chain is something to keep in mind also that I really like. Our laser beam seems to be getting... Oh, okay, that was real bad again. I just got right in the way there. The laser beam seemed to be getting more fat, so I always like, you know, when you power up your weapon and you feel like you're getting some sort of a cosmetic return, that you can actually see that you're doing more damage and you feel it as well. This game does support, like I said, natively the 360 controller, and I've been using that with no problems, but there doesn't seem to be any rumble or anything, and maybe that's just a feature they haven't implemented yet, and if that's the case, that's totally fine. What's my rank this time? C? C&a-half-ish? Alright, I can cope with that. Let's see if we can get a cooler level this time. No, okay, still fairly static here. No problem. I'm enjoying this enough that I have no qualms playing through a bunch of levels. I can definitely see we're having some more... Oh, okay, well that is sort of dynamic. The lights went out. I could definitely see where having some more friends along for the ride is going to make this much more engaging. Not that it's not engaging now, but I think the absolute chaos of having even more people and what that entails could definitely make this even more exciting and fast-paced. And I wonder if the enemies scale to how many people are playing. We got a big baddie there. He went down pretty easily. I would love to have a maneuverability upgrade right now. Okay, right, that was the lock that I picked up. There doesn't seem to be any smart bombs, which is something that I'm pretty accustomed to seeing in this style of game, where you just want to have like a screen clearing move for when things get way over the top and you just, you know, fall back on this last moment rescue move. I'm going to use my swarmer missiles here just for a second. Really doesn't give you all that much time to mess with it, but, you know, that's okay. Grab another battery here. So far, so good in this level. I do like the fact that there's dynamic lighting and everything. I think it's a nice touch. You know, it's not super necessary, but, you know, it does look nice. I think really in this style of game, the most important thing is just that we've got really smooth gameplay. I'm not sure why I always seem to have to take a hit. I can't just make it through one level. And the fact that this has got, like, some bullet hell elements is pretty cool as well. Not sure I've really seen it executed in exactly a way like this. And it's just refreshing to... Oh, man, another mine straight to the head. I haven't played a good, like, Smash TV style game in quite a while. I know there's been a lot of them, but for the most part, they don't tend to appeal to me for one reason or another. I think this one might have hit a nice balance between chaos and, you know, accessibility, and is not particularly gimmicky. I mean, granted, it does have its own little, like, anime feel to it, which is totally cool. I have no problem with that. But it doesn't come across particularly, you know, ham-handed or anything. Or ham-fisted, I think is the correct way to say that. Let's see what's over here. We got some sort of power-up. I want to grab that. Firepower, yeah, I could always use more. The more firepower, the better. I would love it if we could stack a bunch of firepower on top of itself. Well, I did pretty poorly on that level as well. So far, I haven't gotten through any levels except for the tutorial without taking a knockdown. That background seems to be pretty similar every time. I was hoping that would change up a little bit. And we're just sort of mixing up these various, you know, blockades or different, you know, I don't even know what the correct thing, impediments, I guess, to collide with, so that way we can sort of run around the level in some sort of strange figure-8 pattern. I mean, that is sort of what this always boils down to whenever you play a style game like this. Oh, okay, well, they're going to mix it up. That's cool. You generally end up just sort of running around through the same areas in each part of the level, just trying to train everything to follow you and just, you know, hope that they shoot a little bit before you instead of after you, because that's really what'll kill you. Let's get the swarmer missiles out. Got a knockdown again. I'm not sure why we have to tap fire. I don't really know how much that aids or helps in the gameplay. It doesn't really make it more fun for me. It's just sort of like a weird QuickTime event that shows up occasionally when I take a hit. Also not really sure how safe I am when I get close in on these guys. I mean, obviously I don't want to do that if it's possible, but occasionally it's unavoidable because dudes are just spawning in right next to me. Let's see if we can get that power-up over there. I can't really make out what the power-ups are from a distance, but I guess they are color-coded, so that's probably a thing I should be more aware of. Oh, okay, you can actually stack power-ups, so Accelerate got extended there. And I'm glad that these... Oh, wow, those mines are coming after me. I'm glad that these... I don't even know what I was about to say there. Something about the power-ups being stackable, probably. The fact that we can power up the Accelerate one means we can probably power up the... if not just the length of time, maybe the amount of drones we can have in for firepower. I would like it if we could maybe get like a leveling system or something, so that way the you know, secondary fire can last longer or do, you know, even more damage, or something cool like that can happen. Looks like we've opened up another area, which is excellent. Maybe a little bit more room to walk around. Oh, I was going to say that I'm glad the little bolts, energy things come in after you and seek in actively towards you, because had I had to go looking for them and they didn't move, that would have been pretty annoying. We're going to definitely need our homing missiles. I wasn't even going to get out of that. Alright, I need a recharge, like, real bad. Okay, well, thankfully one came and found me without me having to go for it. How often can I use my homing missiles? I guess there is a bar for that. I should probably try some of the other characters if possible. Let's go back out to level select. So yeah, it keeps the rankings on each level. There's only a few more for me to even try here. So go back to Android select. Let's try just our main character, Cactus. Seemed to do okay with her on the tutorial. You probably want to see some more exotic gameplay. Maybe after... Oh, we've got a production overlord, the Embryo, to fight. So maybe not the best moment to pick up a different character, but whatever. Let's try and navigate my way through the bullet hell element here. I kind of really like that that's how the bosses are approached. Because, you know, despite the fact that I haven't really covered hardly any games in that genre, I actually do somewhat like that genre in the instances that I've actually found a game that has been of a difficulty level I can actually handle. A lot of times they go kind of over the top with that. Oh, wow, I just walked right into that. But one of my favorites was Death Smiles. I actually spent quite a bit of time with that. I guess if I get just right up close to this guy, he doesn't really have a whole lot to say about fighting me. Oh, okay, well, he's going to change forms and then insta-kill me. Should be really interesting to see what happens if you have 4 players all shooting at the same time. Like, how hard is it going to be to understand where you're supposed to walk? It's a lot of projectiles if you think about it. I'm not even really doing all that much damage. I guess having the flamethrower out is really my only solace. And as you can see, his vitality is segmented into little nuggets. And now we've got rockets shooting onto the floor. That's fine. I can avoid those targets pretty easily. Just want to charge up long enough to get my flamethrower going again. I imagine this would probably go faster if we had more people all just, you know, shooting into him at the same time. Battery, please? There we go. Thank you. I kind of like how many discrete little chunks or like different elements of this boss fight there are. It's actually got a bit of a learning curve. You know, you're not going to probably get through this on your first try and be flawless. You're going to actually have to take your time and learn exactly how to approach this boss. But at the same time, it's not exactly that alienating either. I don't feel like I'm in super hard, like crazy try-hard mode where I have to die a whole bunch of times. So it's a nice balance. Whoa. I should probably keep my distance when this happens. I'm just not that good at avoiding. If I had some better agility, I guess that would help. And that would be another reason why having, you know, a leveling system might be a nice touch, because maybe when you go back to these, you have a little bit more maneuverability or more shot power or something like that. So unfortunately, my battery was drained. Let's try one more character. We got Seekers, Spread Shot, Shotgun. I kind of want to try Coral. Plasma Field sounds exciting to me. And I can, of course, skip this boss if it's too hard, but I don't think it really is. Alright, so this should be interesting. Let's see how fast I can fire. Do I have to... Oh, okay. I was wondering if I could hold down the button or if I had to press it each time I wanted to fire. That's kind of annoying that she has to cock the gun each time. Let's see, the Plasma Field is an interesting strategic maneuver. You can actually use that in conjunction with some of your other Android friends, perhaps. Oh, and my shotgun does not reach very far. This seems like a very tactical decision to want to play as Coral. And you'd probably not want to play as her necessarily when you're just playing by yourself. But then again, if you look at the amount of damage I'm doing, it is substantially more than playing with Cactus. I mean, I'm actually doing some damage with my main fire, which I kind of just wasn't before. I launch that plasma in. Yeah, I guess it's a risk-reward system, which makes perfect sense and seems actually like a really good idea. In general, wow, okay, so that's like my first death right there, or my first knockdown. I can handle that. I'll throw another oh, just walked right into that again. Now, you can't really kite this boss around, which is a little frustrating, because I think this game is heavily based on being able to do that. He's sort of got his own little devices that he wants to go after. Just memorize the patterns as well would be kind of helpful. So you can trap him in the corner and then just put him right into the middle of that plasma ball. I'm pretty sure I should be able to take him down this time. At least provided I can get a few more shots on that plasma bolt, and another battery should probably be nice any moment now. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to deal with that, I mean, other than just getting far away. Alright, drop the plasma ball, hope that he hits it. Yeah. Alright. Get the battery. Wow, it just barely made it. And now he's going into crazy mode on his last health nugget, which you can't really blame him. And I'm just gonna get knocked down on every single thing he does. This is like a seriously crazy boss for the very first boss that you have to fight. Again, I really don't think I like the tapping mechanism every time I need to lift back up. I'd much rather have to press like A or like rotate a stick or something that, you know, quickly pressing the analog triggers is not really the most responsive or nice feeling. Level select again, let's try Lemon or Holly. Let's try Spread Shot, see how far hers carries. And I think after that we'll wrap it up. Oh no! I've gone back to the tutorial. My mistake. No biggie. I like that she's got this crazy, like, Jill style from Resident Evil rocket launcher over her back. Alright, Spread Shot seems pretty nice. Looking in terms of damage, though, versus the shotgun, not even comparable. Love to be able to take a few more hits, though. This feels super weak. Alright, let's get that alt fire down. Ugh, that didn't last very long at all. Alright, so actually I really like the shotgun girl for this boss fight. I think it actually made more sense. But there is still the one that I haven't tried yet. Yeah, this feels like it's going to take about 2 hours for me to kill him at this rate. What do I get, like 3 rockets each time? Well, I have I have agility, so I had really no excuse there for taking that hit. Just poor gameplay. Alright, rockets off. There we go. Oh, that did a bunch of damage. Well, it's creeping down. I mean, I'm making a dent. It's just not nearly the same level as that shotgun blast. But I also get a continuous fire instead of having to wait between each shot, so, you know, that is the trade-off. Rockets. Oh no! I missed all my rockets except for one. I'm probably not going to beat this boss, am I? I am very happy for those invincibility frames also. Oh, come on. Alright, there we go. I'm actually a little surprised I got this far. I figured with the amount of damage I was doing with the spread fire, I was probably not even going to get past like a second bar. Alright, get the distance. I believe the gap is rotating around in a clockwise fashion. I just need to follow suit with it, but I can't seem to handle doing that for whatever reason. Let's get the rockets off. Oh god, and then miss all of the rockets. That's great. This would be where I would smart bomb, but I am gonna die. Yeah. I feel like I should probably just play the last character also, just because. So that way we've seen all of them. I really like the fact that there are so many characters with so many different approaches. This one has a cannonball, I believe. Alright, let's try this again. These little homing rockets, which is kind of cool. Let's see what the... Oh, okay, I get one fire with that, so I gotta know what I'm doing when I fire that thing off. I almost made a Dota reference. Well, I might as well go with it at this point. Feels a little bit like the thing when you're playing as, what is it, Lich. And he fires off that ice bolt. Wow, okay, that does a lot of damage. Alright, I gotta make those shots count. Because that actually can be a real tide turner. And it's kind of nice to not have to aim all that much. I just sort of aim in the general direction of what I want to hit. Takes care of the rest for me. Alright, let's get a... Oh! Cannonball, hit it! Hit it! No! Alright, well I can probably be firing my cannonballs a lot faster than I actually am. Since I am getting a lot of contact. I'm just waiting, like, I'm sure there's going to be videos of people playing this once they get very proficient that are just, like, taking this guy down without taking a single hit. You know, doing it in, like, 3 seconds. And it is going to be really interesting to see how balanced or imbalanced this game is once you get multiple people involved. But I think that's where it's going to shine the most. Oh, come on now. He's doing so well. Get a shotgun or a cannon in there. There we go. The battery. I think we're actually doing pretty well with her. Yeah, shut down, that's right. Take a cannon to the face, and you are dunsies. Alright. That was way harder than I expected it to be, but that's okay. I sort of wanted to not go on, but I also really wanted to see the transforming level mechanic, and I think this might be a level that has that. It kind of makes sense, though, to have just one shot with the cannonball, so I don't really feel bad. At first I was a little put off by that. I was like, well, I have some characters that can get a bunch of shots, and this one just gets one, but, you know, the trade-off is, you know, the give and the take, which is understandable. And I think having the homing shots is actually a pretty nice advantage as well. I would love to get in there, though. Oh man, those mines came at the worst time. I just had pulled out my cannon. Well, I got this far. I might as well just finish the whole demo, right? Generally, very favorable impressions of this game. I mean, I didn't really know exactly what I was going to get to. I mean, I knew the general idea of the game when I started it up, but I didn't know if it was going to be, you know, this hectic, this chaotic, but still this fun. And, you know, I'm glad to hear or find out that it is actually definitely a good time, and a game that I actually would spend more time with. Alright, well, these guys are not a big challenge when I have homing shots. Now, what's going on over here? Something just showed up. Is that, like, my cannonball? What was that? I don't know. I have a chain of 220 now, which is actually pretty awesome. And having the extra firepower never hurt. I wish I could get like a laser firepower, like an extra rocket firepower, like different versions of it would be very cool. But the game isn't finished yet, so I guess there's always room for something like that to happen. You know, games like this, firepower and like different kinds of power-ups, I think really do make or break the nature of how fun you, or how much fun you have with it. And I always enjoy pushing this stuff to the limit as far as it goes. And I feel like, well, I mean, we're still early in the game, so I don't know how chaotic it's going to get, but if we could get it so it's just absolute, complete anarchy and chaos to, like, the utmost degree, that is where I feel like we'll have the most fun. Alright, well, that level was fairly easy, especially after that pretty difficult, harrowing boss fight. And I got an A rank for the first time in my history in this game. Alright, next level is blocks, and I believe this is our last level. There it is! How cool is that? Everything just morphs out of nowhere. I hope that happens a bunch of times throughout this fight. I hope I didn't overhype that element. I mean, it's not the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, but it is definitely something that gives a little bit of a distinct flavor to what this is about. Wow! I hope that doesn't, like, insta-kill you if you're standing in the wrong place, because I didn't really know where was safe. Just all of a sudden totally morphed on me. So far, so good. This level certainly seems easier than some of the previous ones so far. It gets dramatically more fun when I have the ability to move around this fast. I'm guessing what happens is they wait for you to stand in the right spot before the level morphs. Which actually, once you know the points with which the level does do that, you could probably exploit it a little bit if you just want to have like a break. Although I guess if I wanted a break, I could press pause. Oh no, I got a power down. I wonder what happens if you have 4 people all vying for the same batteries, or if they all, you know, get their own batteries, or, you know, maybe one person picks it up, everyone gets one. I don't know, that seems a little unfair because we can be in 4 places at the same time, potentially. That's right, shut down. I believe I'm going to shut down this level. Although I probably shouldn't get too cocky here. Everything keeps shaking a lot. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but not feeling it in the controller just seems a little disorienting. Also, it could be a little, maybe, motion sickness for some people who are predisposed to that. There is a little bit of, like, a jittery feeling to it since everything shakes so much. You know, stuff's exploding an awful lot. One thing that would probably make this even more exciting for me is if every time you killed one of these enemy robots, if the parts, like, accumulated. I know that would probably get ridiculous very fast. But I would love to see, like, what that would look like if everything was physics-enabled and there were just, like, robot parts flying everywhere and accumulating in certain spots. I know enough chaos as it is, probably, so maybe we don't want to add any more things to the screen, but, you know, for both frame rate and for readability reasons, But I always like when you go absolutely nuts with stuff like that. Maybe it was just an option for those of us who are lucky enough to have one of those like GTX Titan graphics cards. I just want to see how much mileage we can get out of this game. I think I did fairly well on that round. Well enough to get a level A. So there we go. We have completed all of the stuff there is to see in Assault Android Cactus, and I guess that will bring us to a close for this episode. I certainly had a good time with this. I would recommend you guys check out what's going on in the Greenlight campaign. Like I said earlier, I think I said this earlier, they're looking for possibly a summer release. So we'll want to keep our eyes peeled for this one in case it shows up. Maybe there's something we could all end up playing a bit together, because I would love to get some 4-player games going to this and see how hard the levels get. Although, hopefully there's more levels than just that list, right? I mean, there didn't appear to be all that many, right? Let's go back in. I just wanted to see again. Level 5 and then boss 5. Yeah, this seems like it should probably scroll a bit. Although, you know, I mean, what did this take us? Like 20 minutes to a half an hour or something just to get through here? Which would make the whole game, you know, like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. Seems a little short to me. I would hope that there would be more than that. But then we have Endless Battle and Boss Rush. You know, this will help, and, you know, having achievements or very difficult little tasks to complete could help, as well as leaderboards and collections. So, you know, there are some things here to extend the longevity, and I probably shouldn't be judging this as if it is a complete game, considering I don't even have access to most of the levels here, and who knows how far they're going to take it anyway. I'm not even sure if we're classifying this as, like, alpha, beta, or where we are exactly in development, so, you know, it's all up in the air at this point, but, you know, that's part of the fun of doing games when they're not out yet. Get to see stuff from a little bit behind the scenes, get an early look at something, maybe get a little hyped, and then we get to watch it going forward and see where it goes. So that is going to do it for Assault Android Cactus, guys. Remember to head on over to my website, which is indie-impressions.com, so you can stay up on every episode that shows up in the series, as well as all the ones going back into the archive, so if you missed any, that is the place to go. Also, you can just check out the playlist on YouTube, whatever floats your boat, but you can do nice sorting and categorization stuff on the website, so it makes it easier to find games that are more suited to your preferences if you're looking for something in particular. You can also search by developer, too, if you want to type them into the search box at the top right corner. So that way you can find, you know, specific people if you're looking for them. But other than the website, I've also got a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/indieimpressions. If you'd like to leave a like over there, it helps me out a little bit, and you'll get every day's new video delivered into your Facebook stream, as well as contests, streaming updates, and news in general, as well as sometimes game giveaways and such. I've also got a Twitter handle, so if you want to come visit me over there and say hey, that would be @RockLeeSmile. I also do take suggestions, comments, criticisms, whatever you got if you want to just say hi. Feel free to do it over there, or send me an email at the contact form on the website, so that way we can get in touch. I'm always eager to talk to just about anybody about just about anything. So do stop by. I'd love to hear from you. So that is going to do it for another episode. As always, remember to come back again tomorrow. I do a new episode every single day. We've been going strong for about 400 days now. We'll continue doing so as long as humanly possible. So I look forward to making some more videos, and I will talk to you real soon. Have a lovely night. See you tomorrow.